Hi, and welcome back. My name is Deneen. You can call me D. I'm an astrologer and I teach people the psychology behind marketing. And today we're going to be diving into Mars and how you can use your Mars to direct your energy. Okay, so you can get the best out of it. So let's dive right into it. So let's go. Now, Mars. Mars is an amazing planet when it comes to directing your energy. Mars is about your energy and it's also about how it is that you assert yourself. It is how you will protect yourself, such as your defense mechanisms when we're talking about it psychologically. And Mars is also your drive, your motor drive, okay? So how it is that you use your Mars and the energy that you have, where your Mars is going to show where your energy is mostly directed and where most of your energy is going to be going to and how it is that you're going to assert yourself. Okay, it also shows, of course, as I said, how it is that you protect yourself, so your defense mechanisms, okay? So, let's get into it, alright? Mars through the houses. Let's go. Mars in the first house, you guys are initiators, okay? You guys are ready and willing to initiate a lot of projects. Does that mean you're going to go through with every project that you initiate? No, especially if there's not energy in the chart to support that, okay? But you do have a lot of energy to exert when it comes to things that you're interested in and also things that you want to initiate and get started in your life, okay? Now, with Mars being in the first house, you are also impulsive at times, but you're not impulsive all the time, okay? Especially when you're younger with this placement, yes, you can be impulsive, but as you get older, and of course everybody learns, you'll be able to sustain the things that you want to initiate, okay? If you were not able to do that when you were younger, yes. Okay, so Mars being in the first house, you are also very self-protective. If somebody threatens you or you feel like you're going to be harmed, you are ready and willing to confront this person head on, okay? And you are also, because you are self-protective, you are also the person who can come off as intimidating, okay, in your stance, all right? Mars in the first house, all right, especially them shoulders, you can come off intimidating, okay? But Mars in the first house, you have a lot of energy and you can use that energy as you want, okay, to initiate things, as long as you are able to follow through with them in the long run, okay? So if this resonates with you, go ahead and hit the like button down below. And if you don't ever want to miss out on our astrology videos, go ahead and hit subscribe. And you guys, I will be seeing you guys next time. I love and appreciate you guys all the time. And until next time, bye. Mars in the second house. Mars in the second house, if you have your Mars there, you can very much assert a lot of your energy towards making your own money, making your own finances and income, okay, towards money and finances just in general. But Mars in your second house can also speak to you having your own ability, all right? This might be an ability that you have inherited, okay, just depending on what's going on in the chart, especially if there's fourth house connections, all right? But second house, your own abilities that you use and to sustain yourself, okay? So this can be used towards your resources and you getting your resources, but also the second house is part of the houses that pertain to wealth, okay? So you can use a lot of that energy towards saving your money as well, not just making your money, but saving your money as well, because opposite the second house is the eighth house, which is shared resources and finances, okay? And you might have some more than just of your money, but money that you can extend to others, okay, over time, not immediately obviously, but over time, right? Mars being in your second house, you can be very protective when it comes to your income. You can be very protective when it comes to how it is that you use and assert your own abilities, okay? And you might not want anybody to exert themselves in that space, okay? Somebody trying to take your money and make it their money without your consent or without your full know-how. So like if you get into a business partnership or if you do anything and this person might want to take your resources or might want to share resources with you, but they might not be as ethical as you, okay, or they might not have the same ethics as you, and that might come off as a problem, okay? And you can get into where it's like, I'm going to take my money and I'm going to cut you off from it, okay, and I'm going to have this to myself and save this on the side without having any interference from this person, okay? And this is very much Mars in the second house, all right? Because you are wanting to put that energy towards finances, but you are also Mars in the second house using this energy as self-sustaining, okay? So what it is that you do, whether this is abilities or resources, you do want to make sure that it's good for you in the long run, such as if you are sharing your resources with people, okay? Now, if this resonated with you and you like this, hit the like button down below. And if you don't want to ever miss out on any of our astrology videos, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, you guys, so you're always notified, okay? I love and appreciate you guys all the time, and I will be seeing you guys next time. Bye. Mars in the 3rd house, you can have a lot of energy to move around. You can have a lot of energy when it comes to having conversations, okay? But also with Mars being in the 3rd house, you can be very protective when it comes to when you're having a conversation. Like if you feel like you're not being heard, like if you feel like a person is not listening to you, you can cut that person off, okay? In conversation, you can cut a person off in conversation. You can stop talking to that person just in general, okay? But Mars in the 3rd house, you have a lot of energy when it comes to communication in general. So if you do anything that requires you to move around, specifically move your body in your immediate environment where you're having a lot of conversations with people, it will be very great for you, okay? Because you have a lot of energy exerted there already, okay? So how it is that you do communication and who it is that you're communicating with is important, because that's where you exert most of your energy, okay? And when you get self-protective, as I said, you can cut a person off in the conversation because you might feel like they're not hearing you or you're not being heard, okay? So make sure whoever it is you're having a conversation with, that they are just as good as talking as they are as good as listening, okay? So if this resonated with you, go ahead and hit the like button down below. And if you don't want to ever miss out on any of our videos, go ahead and hit subscribe and the notification bell so you're always notified. I love and appreciate you guys all the time, and I will be seeing you guys next time. Bye. Mars in the 4th house. Okay, so you do a lot of things for home, okay? You might do a lot of things for your parents. You might do a lot of things for your household, okay? Taking care of a lot of errands and getting things done and just finished, okay? You might initiate a lot of the stuff that you need to do inside of your home, okay? Being your freaking workplace where you exert a lot of your energy. But Mars being in the 4th house, you can also be emotionally aggressive sometimes, okay? So Mars in the 4th house, especially when you're younger, all right? As opposed to when you're older with this placement. You can be emotionally aggressive, such as you can have it in your mind to where you can stop, let's say you can stop talking or you can stop expressing yourself, and this can be emotionally aggressive or come off as emotionally aggressive to a person, okay? Mars being in the 4th house, this is like your way of protecting yourself. And Mars being in the 4th house, those who are closest to you, they can be the ones who you're giving the silent treatment to, okay? They can be the ones who you're giving the silent treatment to, or they could very much well be the ones who can be the annoyance, okay? And your family or things that you have to do for your family can also come up and be the annoyance sometimes for you, okay? You can also be very protective of your family, okay? And ready and willing to protect your family when the time comes for it, all right? With Mars being in the 4th house here, okay? If you have signs such as Capricorn, Aries, Taurus, all right, just as being those types of Mars signs, that is a lot of energy. So this person with not just Mars being in the 4th house, but this person with more sustaining energy like that would show a person who can be an authority figure, okay, take on a lot more of the family and stuff that has to do with the family's issues and problems, and get those things done and corrected, because it's the 4th house. So how it is in the beginning when the person is younger and how it is when they're older, they're going to see it grow, okay? Sort of a transformation of how it is that their parents or their home, their roots did one thing, and seeing it transform, okay? Depending on what sign is there, as I said, the signs that I just mentioned, but there's also other indicators of that, all right? But we're not going over those today, all right? All right? Okay. So Mars in the 4th house, you can start a lot of things from your home, and this would be a great place because you are exerting a lot of energy in your home. And when it comes to family matters, homes, the home root, okay? So this will be a great place for you to start and initiate a lot of things for yourself, all right? If this resonated with you, go ahead and hit the like button down below. And if you don't want to ever miss out on any of our astrology videos, go ahead and hit subscribe and the notification bell so you're always notified. I love and appreciate you guys all the time, and I will be seeing you guys next time. Bye. Mars in the 5th house. Mars in the 5th house, you use a lot of your energy towards expression because Mars is dealing with fire, okay? And it's in the 5th house where you have expression, so the expression is fired up. Now Mars being in the 5th house, you can deal in places where it's theater, where you have to be center stage, like being at a trade show and you're doing a dramatic cut in front of a group full of people, or you can be a motivational speaker, okay? And you can be in front of a group full of people, okay? Expressing yourself, being creative, dealing with a lot of creative projects, or being in a lot of places where you're dealing with larger groups of people, organizations, clubs, and you get a chance to express your creativity or express yourself, okay? Now, or deal in and work in projects, okay? Now, Mars in the 5th house, since a lot of your energy is going there, opposite the 5th house is the 11th house. So your network and who it is that you network with is very much important to you, okay? And if somebody who is inside of your network isn't allowing you to express yourself, that can also very much affect you, okay? Now Mars in your 5th house, okay, it's firing up that expression, but also Mars in your 5th house, as I said, you can be very protective of people who don't allow you to express yourself, so you might not express yourself around everybody, okay? So if you feel like a person is not letting you express yourself, you might not express yourself around that person, okay? One, because opposite the 5th is the 11th, okay? But also 2, Mars being in the 5th house, you can express yourself in a way to that person where it's like, oh, okay. It can very much surprise them because you can get very fired up when it's time for you to express yourself, okay? And when it's time for you to confront them very much upfront and upright, okay? Either that or you just leave it alone, okay? But Mars in the 5th house, you have an amazing amount of expression, and don't be afraid to express yourself. I love and appreciate you guys, alright? If you resonated with this, make sure you hit the like button down below. And if you don't ever want to miss out on any of our astrology videos, go ahead and hit subscribe and the notification bell so you're always notified. And I will be seeing you guys next time, okay? Mars in the 6th house. Mars in the 6th house, you will use a lot of your energy towards your routine, okay? And you can also use a lot of your energy towards what it is that you have to do for your job, okay? But just in general towards your routine, what you're getting done in a day, a lot of your energy is exerted towards that. So your routine and the routines that you keep are very, very important, okay? With Mars being in the 6th house, how it is that you may protect yourself is how it is that you take care of your body, okay? Because this is the 6th house, this is dealing with health, okay? So this person, they might exercise and they might use their time in their routine, somewhere in their routine where they had time and scope out time to exercise, okay? But this is not just exercise, this is health in general, okay? And Mars being in the 6th house, you're into that, you're okay with that, all right? And that might be your way of protecting yourself by making sure that you're healthy and your routines are on order. Mars in the 6th house, if you feel like a routine or something that is within the scope of your routine and your health routine and your diet is not helping you, your job that you're at is being more detrimental to you, you will cut that off, okay? And you will sit there and find a way to reorganize, and how it is that you can reorganize your routine, reorganize your day, reorganize what it is that you want to do for a job so that it is beneficial to you, okay? Mars being in your 6th house. If you like this and this resonated with you, make sure you hit the like button down below. And if you don't ever want to miss out on any of our astrology videos, make sure you hit subscribe and the notification bell so you're always notified. I love and appreciate you guys all the time, and I will be seeing you guys next time. Bye. Mars in the 7th house. Okay, so Mars in the 7th house, you can exert a lot of your energy towards your one-to-one partnerships, so the people you have to partner up with, so who it is that you are partnering up with and who it is that you are keeping, okay, on rotation when it comes to your one-to-one partnerships is very much important, okay? Mars in the 7th house, you might very much have to take action or help a person take action, and that might be the reason why you're partnering up with this person, okay? But Mars in the 7th house, you are are meant to learn a lot about relationships in this lifetime. Okay, so Mars in the 7th house, you might want to cut off relationships as a way of being self-protective, but you have to, okay, in this lifetime learn a lot about relationships, okay, and this is actually going to be beneficial to you. So there might be times in your life where you might feel like your relationships or your one-to-one partnerships can feel very much combative, like you're very much going against this person very much instead of you going against the problem, and you are learning a lot in these relationships because Mars in the 7th house, you're going to be very good, okay, when it comes to relationships in the long run, because so much of your energy is exerted here. Now Mars in the 7th house, as I said, if you are getting protective when it comes to yourself, you might cut a person off or cut a relationship off, okay? But Mars in the 7th house, you're still learning in that process, okay? I don't want you to think that you're not learning if you don't feel like you want to retain this relationship or you don't want to continue to learn these lessons with this person, all right? But you are learning in these relationships, and Mars being in your 7th house is giving you the energy for you to assert yourself in these relationships, in these partnerships, okay? Whether that be for yourself or whether that be very much on the other person's behalf, you guys doing something or going towards something together, all right? And that is the reason for these partnerships, for these agreements that you're getting yourself into, okay? Now, if you like this and this resonated with you, go ahead and hit the like button down below. And if you don't ever want to miss out on any of our astrology videos, go ahead and hit subscribe and the notification bell so you're notified. I love and appreciate you guys all the time, and I will be seeing you guys next time. Bye. Mars in the 8th house. Mars in the 8th house is a very powerful and strong placement. Mars in the 8th house is very intense, and Mars in the 8th house is very much about shared resources, but also about finances in general, okay? Now, Mars in the 8th house, you can have it in you to where you're investing in a lot of things, okay? You have a lot of investments or financial leverage, I should say, all right? So your portfolio may be very full. But Mars in the 8th house, okay, you are also a very intense person, so you can have it to where you're getting into things or you're very interested in things that are taboo, very much things that are esoteric, occult, but also things that require a lot of deep research, okay? Now, Mars being in the 8th house can also have it to where you're very much not just an intense person, but you're also a very much deep person. So if a person doesn't garner, okay, or have your trust, you may very well cut them off, and you may very well not want to share your resources or invest with them, okay, because you want to make sure that this is very valuable for you, but also because Mars has this intensity there, and this is the 2nd in the 8th house axis, that things are on par when you're making these investments, okay? Or else you might cut that person off because you might not feel like that is a good investment or that is of value, okay? So this person doesn't have to necessarily be on your same equal grounds. However, they have to be very valuable to you, okay? And if you feel like that is not what's happening here, this person is not taking into consideration what it is that is shared, okay, on a deep, intimate level with the both of you, such as the goal that you want to get to, what it is that you want to accomplish in life, okay, you might very well just let it go, okay, as a way of being protective. But Mars in the 8th house is very intense. They have a lot of energy, okay, and they can direct it very well because there are things that they will want to invest in, and when they direct their energy, they can see these things sprout, all right? If there's nothing adverse going on here with Mars, all right? Mars in the 8th house is also a person who is very intimate, so you can have intimate relationships. And if there is no intimacy there that is happening, such as you guys having a deep emotional bond towards what it is that you want to go towards or who it is that you are as a person, okay, you can very much see that it might not be as long lasting as you would like, because Mars in the 8th house, okay, is what's shared. And if there is something that is not shared, okay, when it comes to you and your partner, you cannot relate. You're not going to find it in you that, one, you're going to value that person long term, but also two, that is something you're going to want to invest in long term, okay? Mars in your 8th house, all right? And Mars in your 8th house, as I said, you can like your bed pleasures, but also too, Mars in the 8th house, there's intensity and a lot of energy here, so you can also use that energy towards you going after and you being able to endure a lot of things when it comes to investing, such as the ups and downs that happen with investing, okay? So Mars in the 8th house. If this resonated with you, go ahead and hit the like button down below. And if you don't ever want to miss out on any of our astrology videos, go ahead and hit subscribe and the notification bell so you're always notified. I love and appreciate you guys all the time, and I will be seeing you guys next time. Bye! Mars in the 9th house. So Mars in the 9th house, this is a lot of your energy being directed towards learning, a lot of your energy being directed towards travel, okay, and a lot of your energy being directed towards teaching, okay? So Mars in your 9th house is a lot of energy that you are going to use in this lifetime, okay, for you to garner experiences that are very much a part of your learning experience in this lifetime. But Mars in your 9th house, you can have a lot of energy to do this, okay? You can go and take the long travels, you can go and take the long trips, you can spend your time listening to very long extended pieces of information, period, okay? And Mars in your 9th house also can speak of advertising, so you can go and do and deal in things with advertising as well. But Mars in your 9th house, when it comes to protection and being protective, you can learn something in order to protect yourself. You can listen, I've noticed with them, okay? Listening very much more closely to what it is that people are saying and how your point of view, and emphasizing your point of view, or emphasizing your belief, okay, even if this is not to the other person, emphasizing it to yourself, your point of view to yourself, your philosophy on life to yourself, okay? And having this as a way of you being protective, like, okay, I understand what you're saying, but this is my belief anyway, okay? Or this is my point of view, or this has been my experience anyway. And listening in closely to what people are saying, but also being able to distinguish your point of view from theirs, okay? Because Mars in the 9th house, you have it in you to where you are going to want to learn, okay? You have it in you to where you're going to want to travel, you're going to want to go the distance, okay? And you are going to have a lot of contact with different people who are going to teach you things in this lifetime. But Mars being here in your 9th house is also bringing you a lot of life through what it is that you're learning, okay? So something that involves you having to learn, or a pathway where you're having to learn a lot and continuously learn a lot, is very much up your alley and very much on par with you, okay? So if you have Mars in your 9th house, go ahead and hit the like button down below. And if you don't ever want to miss out on any of our astrology videos, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and go ahead and hit the notification bell so you don't ever freaking miss out, alright? And I'll be seeing you guys next time. I love and appreciate you guys all the time. Alright? Bye. Mars in the 9th house. If you have your Mars in the 9th house, this is very much talking about actions that you take early on, how it's going to pay off later on in life, okay, how they accumulate, all right? So Mars in your 10th house is also speaking of a person who is good at building and putting a lot of their energy towards their reputation, how it is that they're known, their goals, all right, what they're ambitious about, and the status that they want to build in this lifetime. Now, Mars being in your 10th house, you have a lot of opportunity for you to reach your goals, because you're going to put a lot of energy towards how it is that you want to be known, okay? And this is not all the times work, career, but this is just your status in general, your reputation in general, okay? Now, Mars being in your 10th house, you have it in you to where you have endurance, okay? To not just initiate things, but actually to finish things, all right? Now, Mars being in your 10th house is also speaking about you being in a place where you are seen. So your actions might be very much public. You could be having a position to where you are an authority figure, all right? Especially with Mars being involved here, this can be things like military. This can be things like police force, okay? But Mars here in the 10th house is still authority, okay? So you having Mars here, you can build this authority where you want to build it, all right? The goals, the ambitions, you can build that up if you so choose to. But this will take time, because the actions that you take early on translate into later on in life, okay? All right. Now, when it comes to you getting protective and you being self-protective, you are going to want to protect your reputation. You're going to want to protect the status of what it is that you're working on. So you might not have everybody knowing what it is that you're working on, and you might keep a lot of those things, you know, to yourself or secretive, just to the people who you are closest to. Okay? And that is your way of being protective. All right? But also Mars in the 10th house can also show a person who is willing to be aggressive out front in front of other people as well. All right? Now, Mars in the 10th house, you can have it where you could have had an altercation with a person publicly in front of people. That is okay. Mars in the 10th house, that's where the energy is exerted, okay? So there's nothing wrong with that if that has happened. But Mars in the 10th house, you have it in you to where you can reach your goals, you can reach your ambitions, and you can get to where it is that you want. It's just going to take a little bit of time and effort on your part. All right? Now, if that resonated with you and you like this, hit that like button down below. And if you don't ever want to miss out on any of our astrology videos, go ahead and hit subscribe and the notification bell so you're always notified. I love and appreciate you guys all the time, and I will be seeing you guys next time. Bye! Mars in the 11th house. So if you have Mars in your 11th house, you are very much the person who takes your energy and puts it towards your goals and dreams, towards your gains, okay? So these can be stocks, but also Mars in the 11th house can also be humanitarian efforts, things that are dealing with community, things that are dealing with bigger organizations such as a bigger club, okay, or just bigger organizations just in general who give back and who want to give back, like nonprofits. But Mars in the 11th house can also bring and attract in friends and people who can be a little bit back and forth with you, or a little bit more combative, getting ready to get you up and running, okay? So you can have it where you can go back and forth with your friends, but you can also have it to where you can bring and attract in friends who help you take action in your community, okay? Or just in general when it comes to your hopes, dreams, wishes, okay? Because the 11th house is opposite the 5th house, and this is the axis that deals with network, okay? And the 11th house is a marketing house. Now, Mars being in your 11th house, you can deal with and have a lot of contact with bigger groups of people. You can have a large group of friends or a larger network that is also a part of the energy that you exert. So you can exert a lot of your energy towards helping out this network, helping out this group, helping out your friends, helping out the community. But Mars in the 11th house, when they get protective, they can very much cut off the network that they're in. They can very much cut off the friends, okay? And they can very much, like, you know, just sever, okay, those connections just in general. But Mars in the 11th house, that is their defense or their protective mechanism. Mars in the 11th house, you have a lot of energy towards your goals, dreams, and wishes, your gains, and also Mars being in the 11th house. This is your audience, of course, okay, in modern day astrology. So Mars being in your 11th house, you can have it in you to where you can pioneer and kind of get yourself up there when it comes to what it is that you want to do with your audience, and cultivating your audience by just pioneering your audience in general, okay? So a lot of people who have Mars in the 11th house, you can pioneer your own audience. You can sit there and get a lot of the people who are going to support you, be a part of your network, just by going out there and taking the action yourself, okay? So that is a mark of having Mars in the 11th house, okay? That is where your energy is being exerted. And if this resonated with you and you have your Mars in the 11th house, go ahead and hit the like button down below. And if you don't ever want to miss out on any of our astrology videos, go ahead and hit subscribe and the notification bell so you're always notified. I love and appreciate you guys all the freaking time, and I will be seeing you guys next time. Bye! Mars in the 12th house. If you have your Mars in the 12th house, you can exert a lot of your energy towards spiritual or faith-based things or faith-based work, such as meditation and prayer. But you can also get into a lot of things that involve you to use your imagination, okay? Especially your imaginative faculties towards making an image, like drawing, painting, photography, okay? But the 12th house can also have you working and doing a lot of things that involve behind the scenes work, where you might be doing something, you might be participating in an overall production, okay, career, job, whatever the case may be, but you are behind the scenes when it comes to it. So people might know you for something, but they just might not see you at the forefront. You just might be behind the scenes getting all of that stuff done, okay? So that is Mars inside of your 12th house. Now, Mars in the 12th house, when there are other things that are going on, they can very much, and when I say other things that are going off, like when they get protective, they can very much cut off the world, okay, the outside world in their everyday life. So this is a person who they're constantly, okay, constantly imagining, constantly off in a different space, okay, trying to escape from everyday life, okay, escaping, not the same thing, okay, as them using their imaginative faculties to really create and bring about an image, okay, into reality. This would be them escaping that and trying to find a way out of doing that, okay, out of that everyday, the reality of everyday life, okay. Mars in the 12th house, you have a lot of energy to bring things into existence if you use your actions correctly. A lot of people draw, and they might not like what they draw the first time around and throw that away, but they will continue to draw, okay, until they're getting that picture or that portrait that it is that they like. So Mars in your 12th house, you have a lot of energy to make things happen, but only if you are using it and only if you are taking action, okay? Not if you are sitting there trying to escape from taking action, because then you're not going to see the full fruitfulness of what it is that you have in your mind come to fruition, okay? So if you have your Mars in your 12th house and you like this, make sure you hit the like button down below. And if you don't ever want to miss out on our astrology videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you're always notified. I love and appreciate you guys all the time, and I will be seeing you guys next time. Bye!